By the way, I gave up energy drinks this year, 2019. No energy drinks and no juice. No, I think I got a naked one time. He said, well, why do you give up juice? Like I told you before, if you're trying to lose weight, you got to give up because it got too much sugar in it. But that's the same reason I gave it up, and I'm not trying to lose weight. Matter of fact, I forced myself to eat more than I really want to eat in many times because I don't want to lose weight. Because I do something else called intermittent fasting because I'm also just trying to improve my condition of health. What's wrong with your health? There's nothing wrong with my health that I know of, but there's always room for improvement. And intermittent fasting has been proven to provide certain benefits. It's basically like a rejuvenation process because when you stop stuffing your face and allow yourself to have some hours of being hungry, basically, then your body goes through a process and your cells start to you run out of food for energy, so your body starts to use damaged cells, damaged proteins, and all that for energy. And then long enough, then it starts pulling the fat out of your cells. And obviously, this is a great process. Then the next stage is the replenishing of those depleted cells from the body. Now it's going to make new cells. So now when you go back into after the fast and go into feast mode and you're eating food that's healthy, then your cells are going to be made up of material from that good food instead of donuts and soda with sugar, So they say you are what you eat. Guess what? It's so true. But why the elimination of sugar? Well, they don't talk about this enough. At least they don't talk about it with the level of seriousness that they should, especially the doctors don't. Because a lot of people with high blood pressure and pre-diabetes and high cholesterol, this, that, the other, it's got a lot to do with the sugar, simple carbohydrates, which converts into sugar. And you think juice, a lot of people think, giving your kids a lot of this orange juice, apple juice, and a lot of different juices, and then the cheap juice that ain't even all juice, it's just a lot of water and sugar and a little bit of juice. You can't do that, man. It's too much sugar. And you do the research yourself. My understanding is, not being a doctor or anybody that's professional in the medical field, the reason that a lot of times the cholesterol is high has a lot to do with sugar, because cholesterol is produced in the body for one reason, is to help repair the walls of your veins and everything, arteries. And how do they get broken? How do they get messed up? A lot of sugar is one way that your walls get damaged. So it scars the walls inside the veins, and then the cholesterol goes to repair it. And so now you're having all of these places with obstruction in the veins, and obviously the more it has to go through this process and the more clogged those arteries get, and now your heart is having to pump harder in order to get the same pass-through rate of the blood flow. So now your blood pressure, you know what I'm saying, so is elevated. So one of the things that I always say is beneficial to help you curb any habit and replace it with better ones is to expose yourself to information related to whatever it is that you're interested in turning around. So if you have health issues, or let's say if you want to stop smoking, you want to improve your diet, this, that, the other, do some investigating and take a closer look at, because you already have gotten some information, the reason that you're interested in making these changes. But go deeper. Learn out what happens at a molecular level inside the body when you consume sugar. Learn out what happens at a molecular level in the body when you do smoke. Learn out what happens to your lungs. Learn out what happens to your cells. You know that your lungs get black, but that ain't enough. Go deeper. Go into YouTube and say illustration of what happens when I smoke. What happens to my body when I don't get enough sleep? What happens to my body when I do these drugs? What happens to my body when I consume too much caffeine? What happens to the body? Find out. And then when you see this in that level of detail, you pretty much feel stupid, even if not at a conscious level. At a subconscious level, there's something called cognitive dissonance. So when you habitually repeat that same behavior that you just learned is killing you, you just saw in detail what it's doing to you at a cellular level, then it's much easier, because you're going to feel discomfort every time you do it. Every time you get that cigarette. That's how I stopped smoking Black & Milds. Every time I help somebody else stop smoking too, by putting them through this process. And I bribed them to do it. $100 I gave them in order to complete certain stages. But that's another story. You don't need all that. I was just testing my theory to see could I do it, and yes. I haven't talked to him in a few years, but months later he still hadn't smoked. But anyway, what was I saying? I'm just sitting here waiting for my man to show up. Got 4 more minutes to wait. I forgot what I was talking about. So let's talk about repairs to the truck, right?